Yeah, God.
KDK Prank Radio.
Oh, I love the nightlife. I've got to forget on the disco ride.
It doesn't.
Good luck, KDK.
A good Catholic is a Catholic in the model of Jesus Christ, a revolutionary, someone who's not afraid to get up and speak the truth. Remember, the only time Christ ever got angry is when he went to church.
You're a piece of shit. Once you realize you're a piece of shit, it's not so hard to take. Because then you don't have this feeling that you're a good person all the time. And let me tell you something. Feeling that you're a good person all the time is like having a brand new car with no scratches on it. It's a real responsibility which is almost impossible to live up to. Being a piece of shit and then occasionally doing something that's good and true, it's a much easier place to be.
There are no gods, no devils, no angels, no heaven or hell. There is only our natural world. Religion is but myth and superstition that hardens hearts and enslaves minds.
You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to
KDK's Lunatic Fringe.
All systems go. Prepare for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off to adventure in the amazing year 400 million.
What about KD? What do you think of him having sex with your dad?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to KDK's Lunatic Fringe. It is 10:06 in the p.m. Saturday, March 2nd, 2009. That's how I always start the program. Just because in my own head I think it proves that I'm live, but I very easily could have pre-recorded that and timed it properly and be playing a pre-recorded bit right now. But I think it'll be a very good program today because I need to get to the phones very quickly because I have some early morning business tomorrow. I have to get up very early, so I can't be up all night, and I can't be like stupid, sloppy drunk till 5 in the morning. I'm going to have to get up at 7 because I have a very important appointment at 8. So, yeah. So I'll probably be on till like 12 or 1. I'm not going to run until like 3 or 4 as I've been known to do. And even on one occasion, I think I ran till like 7 in the morning. But that won't be happening tonight. I'm going to, short and sweet, I'm going to get in, do my work, get out and go to bed. Right? I'm going to behave tonight, theoretically. And last week, for the first time ever, why do I always get so much air in the mic? God damn. Sounds like I'm giving the mic a blowjob. Let me move it away from my face some more. And again it happened. So I'm just too breathy when I talk. I'm like Kathleen Turner or something. Anyway, as I was saying, I used Skype for the first time last week, and I had a lot of audio problems where every time I turned Skype on, its recording volume was well below everything else on the show. But I think I adjusted things properly, and I tested it out during the week. How? By making a ton of prank calls. I feel like a new man. I feel like newly invigorated, and I'm realizing at this point that the one thing that was turning me off and why I would come on the air and say I don't feel like making prank calls is because I didn't like going through the whole phone card rigmarole, because you got to dial the 1-800 number for the phone card and type in the PIN number and then type in the number you want to dial, and there's so much opportunity for me to fuck it up, especially when I'm drunk, that I would shy away from it and put it off. But with Skype, it's just so much easier. So I've rediscovered my love and fun for prank calls, and I've been doing prank calls off the air. In fact, I have about 25 minutes, maybe like 10 to 12 prank calls that I've done over the past week off the air that I can world premiere tonight. Instead of playing music that you guys are probably sick of, I have a shit ton of prank calls you've never heard before that I did off the air, some of which are very, very good. I have one prank call that's about 45 minutes long, where I kept calling the same supermarket to complain that they were splashing chicken blood everywhere when they were skewering chickens for the rotisserie. And I called as Jill, and I got the guy to be rude to me so that I could call back as Ed and yell at him for being rude to my wife. And it went on for 45 minutes, from like 4 in the morning till almost 5 in the morning. It was some of the most fun I've had in a long time making prank calls. That one needs to be edited down. I haven't done that yet, so I won't be able to play that for you tonight. But it's something for you to look forward to. But I do have a whole slew, maybe like a dozen or so prank calls where I call up random people just out of the phone book. And I tell them they have to return all their pork and pork byproducts to their local supermarket because we've accidentally sold them food contaminated, pork contaminated with swine flu. And only one guy out of all of them was smart enough to call me out and say, you can't get swine flu by eating pork. And I recovered on my feet quickly and said, no, you get it from simply handling it, dear, because that pig had swine flu, and you get it on your skin, and you touch your face, and suddenly you're sick and die. Right? Yeah. And I also called up a nudist. I was reading my local newspaper. This one I actually posted on the forums, but since nobody ever visited the forums, you probably haven't heard it yet. I called up a nudist, apparently like some crazy guy who just showed up at a beach in I forget what town, some town in Connecticut, one of these exclusive hoity-toity rich communities. He showed up and decided he wanted to be nude on the beach, so he's sunbathing naked, and the cops show up and tell him he has to get dressed. They didn't even want to arrest him at first, but they said, just dress your ass and you'll be okay. And he says, no, I refuse to get dressed because I'm living like Jesus. And Jesus apparently lived naked. In none of the Jesus movies I've seen was Jesus naked, but I bet he was well hung. But anyway, he refused to get dressed, so they arrested him, but they gave his name out in the article. And I called him at about, maybe 4:30 in the morning, and I asked him to join our private nude beach here in New Milford, and I won't give the outcome, but it is surprising. Pardon me while I take a drag of my cigarette before it goes out here. And I'm too fucking late. Look at that. I talked for like fucking 4 minutes, and my cigarette went out on me. I hate these self-extinguishing papers. They even taste funny. But I quit smoking anyway. I saw an ad on TV where some black woman was talking about how she had fingers and toes that had to be amputated because of some disease she got from smoking. And I always thought the big problem was like lung cancer. I didn't know that you could actually like lose digits because of poor circulation from smoking. So now I'm thinking more than ever about smoking. I did quit once a couple weeks ago for like 3 or 4 days, and then started smoking again like a dumbass. But yeah. Anyway, I have a lot that I can talk about tonight because I was ready early for the program because I was just hanging out around the house all day because I don't have a job in the world. That's right. Once again, I got fed up. I keep trying to get these part-time jobs because I keep thinking, you know, you got to do something with your life just to get out of the house, just to meet new people, and I get these part-time jobs. Then I get fed up and I quit. So it happened yet again. So once again, I don't have a job in the world, so I was home all day, and I actually took some notes of things that I can talk about tonight, so that I won't be like struggling for what I want to talk about. Hopefully I can keep the show nice and tight and moving steady and flowing smooth and shit like that. Plus, I already have a bunch of numbers coming in because I was in the chat room earlier and on the AIM early. Oh, which reminds me, if you have names, numbers, or ideas for people that you would like me to call tonight, you can contact me through AIM at KDK Pranks, KDKPRANKS. Hang on, I gotta belch. That is a, I can't say Tang because I think Tang is out of business. I noticed, I've been going shopping for like the past year or so, and I noticed I can't find Tang anywhere. Has Tang gone out of business? That would be horrible because I love Tang. But that belch is brought to us by Sugar-Free Tang Ripoff by Crystal Light. There you go. So, if you have names, numbers, or ideas for people for me to prank, KDK Pranks on AIM is the preferred method. Otherwise, you can go to kdkprankcalls.com, click on the link for the chat room, or PCU Radio or fartsteam.com, and click on the link for chat. They'll all bring you to the same place. You can double-click on me and send me your confirmed names, numbers, and ideas. And by confirmed, I mean that you've called it already, innocuously, not putting them on edge or not trying to prank them, but just innocuously, so that we know someone is there to answer. Likely someone is there to answer. Right? So yeah. With that said, I do have a bunch of numbers already coming in, so let me open those up and see what we got. It's like opening up a Christmas present, just seeing what I got in here. And I'm going to have to close out some windows to even be able to see my AIM stuff. Starting with Nunu. Nunu says he's got the number for Helen Gosnell. She volunteers at a hospital, had a bit of trouble hearing me, so they have to talk loud to her. Plus, she's over 100 years old. She's 100 years old. She's Willard Scott age. And Lonesome Loser is here with phone numbers for Richard Stubbing, Patrick Stibbs, or is that Stubing? That reminds me, I was looking at a catalog today of like cruises that you could take, and my mom and my dad used to take cruises all the time, so because I have all their mail forwarded to me still from the old address, I get these catalogs for cruises, and I usually just throw them out. But today, just for the hell of it, I was looking at the cruises that are available. You know, cruises are surprisingly cheap. The most expensive cruise is 144 days around the world, stopping at pretty much every exotic destination you can think of, for about $70,000. For the swanky, like, 5-star room. If you want to go with, they have different tiers. Apparently, I guess they have like a ghetto room, and then they have like, different tiers and qualities of rooms. If you want the ghetto room, it's like $25,000. If you want like the swanky room, where you get like a gourmet breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, it's like $70,000. I'm like, I can swing that. That would be like a once-in-a-lifetime thing that I'd like talk about and remember for the rest of my life. And just imagine the photo ops I'd have, taking pictures of fucked up people in all sorts of exotic places. So I've been thinking like where I'd like to travel to. The only problem is that most of these cruises are sailing out of other places, so I'd have to take a flight. Like, for example, I think the one that's 144 days and travels like around the world starts in Sydney, Australia. So first I'd have to get on a plane and fly to Sydney, and then get on the boat and go to all these different places. And they'll stop for like a day or two in like all these different places. But I think it would be very exciting to do. And if I bring my laptop and some Wi-Fi with me, maybe I can broadcast from like Bangalore and shit. That'd be awesome. One week I could be in Tokyo, the next week I'm in Bangalore, or the next week I'm in Anchorage, Alaska, or whatever. You understand, as Riley Martin would say. But what made me think of the cruise was the name Dick Stubing here from Lonesome Loser. We also have Patrick Stibbs, Yusef Dedakovic, Midhat Turan, Mike Korb, a black woman, Rick Molden, John R. Pilmer, John L. McCune, Greg Thompson has a crappy anonymous call rejection where you just have to enter a random phone number to ring through. Oh, thank you. That's very helpful advice. Otherwise, I would have just hung up. Leonard Chwarowski, Pat Croce, Colleen C. Crowell, an old guy, Joel Pierce, an old guy, Mark Walter, Matt Herbert. So that's what we have coming in from Lonesome Loser. And also from Mr. Blonde. Let me open up Mr. Blonde because he called from the, or he sent in info from the chat room. From Mr. Blonde, we have, let me scroll back up. These windows pop up so tiny I gotta enlarge them so I can read more than 2 lines at a time. He wants me to talk about aliens, ancient Egypt, and Mars, because those are his favorite topics. He says, did you know that the Great Pyramids of Egypt are lined up with the constellation of Orion's Belt? Did you know the Sphinx and the Aztec facial statues are the same as the supposed face on Mars? I once saw like a great show where there was like somebody trying to debunk something that looks like Kermit the Frog on the face of Mars. Like somebody was trying to debunk the face on Mars by saying, well, look, if you want to accept that there's a face on Mars, we can show you this monument that looks like Kermit the Frog. And they're right. You know what? It does look like Kermit the Frog. Guess what it looks like? It looks like an amphibious creature. It doesn't look like Kermit the Frog. It looks like a frog, which totally disproves their own point. So I reminded Mr. Blonde that people would get pissy if I went off talking about my conspiracy theories and alien theories on the air, because this is not that type of show unless it's like after 1 in the morning or something. So the best thing for me to do is just call up or incorporate that into a prank call where I call up old people and tell them that the Great Pyramids of Egypt are lined up with the constellations of Orion's penis or whatever. He sends the number for an old man in the UK named Sid. He says he's slightly deaf and irritable, and confirmed number for a working black lady who's 80 years old named Mary. I have no black name, so I can just call her Black Mary. Is this Black Mary? And Saigon has numbers coming in for Irmgard Unterfinger. I called him before. Remind me how that prank went. I remember that name, but I don't remember how the prank went. I know I definitely called up Irmgard Unterfinger. I remember, like, making fun of that name because it's such a great name. So, like I said, I was reading my local paper online, on the line, as Ed would say, because he's old and decrepit, and I found this article about this guy at this nude beach, and I thought it would be funny, since they gave out his full name and what town he lived in. I looked him up on whitepages.com, and I found him, and this is what I found. Where the hell did I post it? I'm like going to my own website, going to my own forums to like read what I cut and pasted. This is the article that I found. This is from the Danbury News Times. I think it's news-times.com or whatever the fuck it is. A local man who told police he was reliving the life of Jesus was taken into custody for being nude Sunday on Short Beach. Police received complaints from several beachgoers enjoying the unseasonably warm temperatures that there was an unclothed man on the beach. Angelo Dix. It's ironic that the nudist's last name is Dix. But Angelo Dix, 31, of Gregory Circle, was allegedly lying nude on the sand close to a number of families with young children, according to officers sent to the scene. When Dix was told nudity is not allowed on the public beach, he allegedly responded that he was imitating Jesus, adding that he did not want to have a bikini line. Sounds like me, like doing a prank, only I wouldn't do something like that without like at least a camera set up to catch my nude ass being stupid. After refusing to get dressed and leave the beach, Dix was arrested after a brief struggle with officers. I wish there was video of that, like the naked Jesus guy wrestling with the cops. He was charged with risk of injury to a minor. That is bullshit. How is seeing a penis a risk of injury to anybody? If you have a little boy, he's got a penis and he sees one every day when he gets dressed. If you have a little girl, then, well, maybe it's a little different, I guess. Well, maybe I guess I can see their point. He was charged with risk of injury to a minor, breach of peace, and interfering with the police because he fought with them. And so, at about 4 in the morning, I decided to call this nitwit up.
Hello?
Hello, I was calling for Angelo, please.
Who's this?
Angelo, is that you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've never spoken to you before, but I recently read about you in the paper, and I would like to invite you to become a part of our nudist beach here we have on Candlewood Lake in New Milford, Connecticut. It's a private beach, and we've been nudists for many years, and so we understand what it's like to want to be somewhere and be in and amongst other nudes. But everyone around here is so uptight.
Alrighty. Hello?
Hello, Angelo. I'm still here. I'm sorry to call so late, but we've only just gotten out of a meeting amongst I and the rest of the beach-going participants.
Alright, well, I'll call back later on. Is this the number where this can be reached?
Right. You can call me back any time.
Thank you very
It'll
much.
ring through to my cell, so I can pick up and just remind me that you're Angelo.
Alrighty. What was that? What did you say?
What?
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Which part?
The first part.
The first part was that we run a private...
Oh, no, I mean the first part of what you just said last.
I said that this number will ring through to my cell phone. So wherever I am, I'll be able to get your call. Whether I'm at work or on the run, on the go, whatever. Is that something you would be interested in joining our little community here? Because it's hard to find people that are willing to participate. Everyone is so Christian and uptight around these parts.
Alright, well, I will give you a call back and find out more about this.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you later then.
Thank you very much.
Good night, dear.
You too.
Bye-bye. I know it wasn't that great, it wasn't that funny, but I thought the concept that I woke somebody up at 4 in the morning inviting him to join a nude beach, and he said yes. I thought that was funny. I thought that part was funny anyway. But Nunu tells me I have to call this old woman, who's, by old I mean like ridiculously old. She's almost 101 years old. She'll be 101 in August. And we're going to have to call her because old people go to bed early. So I have no idea what I'm going to say, but I'll play off of whatever she gives me. We're calling up the 200-year-old man, the 100-year-old lady. Hello? Hello, Helen, are you there? It's me, it's Ed Rosenthal. How are you doing, lovey? Oh, and she just hung up on me. I feel bad about harassing somebody who's 100 years old, but I'm going to call back. Earning more bad karma for my next life. Hello, Helen. Why'd you hang up on me, dear?
Here.
Hello.
Hello, Helen. How are you doing, love?
What?
How are you doing, love? It's me, Ed Rosenthal.
I can't hear you.
Well, I'm talking as loud as I can. Maybe you can turn your phone a little louder?
No, it's as loud as it'll go.
So you do hear me?
Huh?
So you do hear me. You heard me asking you to turn it up.
Yeah. Who is this?
This is Ed Rosenthal. I know you from the hospital, dear.
Oh, uh-huh.
I'm 87 years young, and I met you there when I was I was in to get the ass pipe. I got a colonoscopy.
Oh, you did?
Right, and you...
when did you get it?
Oh, about a month ago, and you were there with me and talked me through...
Oh, uh-huh. Yeah, and you told me then?
you alleviated my fear because I was afraid about something being put up my bum because nothing's ever been up there before.
Uh-huh.
Well, except for maybe back in my Navy days, but that was 50 years ago.
Oh, was it?
Right, so you had given me your number, and you said when I'm well again, give you a call and we go out for coffee.
You what?
You had said when I'm well again to give you a call and we'll go out for coffee.
Oh, uh-huh.
So I'm calling. And
okay.
I'd like to take you to Starbucks or something.
You want to do what?
I'll take you to Starbucks. We can have lunch together, something light and simple.
Oh, uh-huh.
Right. So what do you say, dear?
Well, that's okay.
Okay, what time is good for you?
I have to work Wednesday.
Okay.
At the hospital Wednesday.
Okay, so how about Tuesday afternoon?
Tuesday afternoon. When? This coming Tuesday, tomorrow? I mean, next day after tomorrow?
Right.
Okay, do you know where I live?
What, the Starbucks?
I said, do you know where I live?
No, not yet, dear. You're going to have to let me know. I still have a driver's license. They haven't taken it away yet.
Well, they haven't mine either.
I'll pick you up in my Edsel. Oh, you drive?
Okay.
You drive too, dear?
What time?
How about noon?
2?
No.
Okay.
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 So it's a date then?
Okay.
Well, God bless you, dear.
All right.
I'll see you then, Helen.
Okay.
Maybe you give me a little something?
At 2 o'clock Wednesday.
Maybe a handy or a reach around or something at least?
Okay.
Okay, well, now I'm excited. I'll see you
All right.
Tuesday. Okay.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And Ed just got a reach around from an old lady. 100 years old. That is officially the oldest person I've ever pranked in my life. And I'm sitting here screaming at the top of my lungs, like afraid the neighbors are going to call the cops on me because I got the door open. But luckily the neighbors were partying down and getting drunk and hanging out like on their porch earlier, so they would be kind of hypocrites if they called the cops on me now, because I put up with their shit for like 2 hours, from like 8 till 9:30. They were all like hanging out like drunk and talking stupid out in the courtyard. I considered setting up the camera and recording them, but I thought they might see it and get like belligerent with me, and I felt that's something best to avoid. So someone is blinking here. Ellie is blinking, saying, "Hi, KDK, how are you? Are you having a show tonight? I got disconnected from Windows. Are you getting this? I am." So I'll tell her, "Yes, dear. I am on the air right now. Use Shoutcast. Search for KDK to find me." Couldn't be easier. Ellie's always having problems getting into the chat room. She's registered, and I know I've helped her with this before. She registers and forgets her username and password. And I could easily help her out if she would contact me before the show, but that's not something I want to do like while I'm on the air, because I'm trying to be entertaining to other folks. So, yeah, there you go. That was the oldest person I've ever prank called in my life, and I don't know if I ought to be proud about that or not. Helen's I got a date with Ed for a handy or a reach around on Tuesday. I like how she didn't know what day it was. She totally didn't know it Saturday. Well, it might be Sunday morning where she is, but where is she anyway? Nunu never told me like what time zone she was in. But she has no clue. It's just even if she knew it was, even if it is Sunday morning for her, she was still at least a day off. Man. Okay, so I'm gonna close out Nunu so that when he has something new to say, he'll pop up and blink. And Ellie is saying, "Your website is not responding. I have learned much about comps, but alas, I can't hear you or get in the chat. Don't call me dumb or psychotic, old, etc. Please. I'm trying my best." I didn't call you dumb, old, or psychotic. Ellie is like my surrogate mom. Since my own is dead, Ellie is my new surrogate mom. And Ellie's probably better with electronics than my mom was. My mom was so stupid, she would call me up to ask to have me come over to connect a DVD player. That's how sad she was. And I'm like, Mom, there's a diagram in your owner's manual. You plug one wire here, one wire there, and it's pretty easy. And she was like, well, I don't know. Well, my mom didn't sound like that. She wasn't that old when she died, but she's like, I don't know. I'm baffled by technology. I'm very sad that there's only one video that exists of my mom because she was always afraid of video cameras, and she knew she was horribly overweight and hideous, so she would never allow people to videotape her. But there was this one time where I came home from work with the video camera, and for some reason I had turned the video camera on, like even before I walked in the door. And I walked to my bedroom, and my mom was like passed out drunk on my bed, holding a cat in like a death grip. Like the cat was like in her arms, like struggling to get out, like when I was opening the door. And it was the funniest thing because the cat had just come back from the vet because she was an Angora who didn't know how to groom herself. So she would always get knots. My parents would never groom her, and I was never home to groom her. So the cat would always get covered in knots, and to solve the situation, the parents would just take her to the vet to get shaved down. So everything but like her paws and her head would be shaved. So it looked like a lion. And she had just come home from the vet, and to be able to shave a cat and not have it like spaz out and rip you apart with her claws, you got to sedate it. So the cat was like still sedated, and I have this great video of me opening the door and like focusing the camera, and the cat hearing me and trying to peek its head up and look at me while she's like clutched in my mom's death grip. And the cat was still so groggy from the anesthesia that her head is like wavering back and forth like a drunk. It's like the funniest fucking video. I'll have to encode that and put it up on the site because it's truly a sight to behold. That's a great video. And I woke up my mom when I opened up the door, and she was drunk, which means she probably went to the vet and picked up the cat while she was drunk. And she was dressed in like a house gown, like a nightgown. And I'm like, God, I hope you didn't show up at the vet that way. And she just reverts to her immediate threats like my parents always did when they wanted to pick fights with me. She's like, get that fucking camera out of my face or I'm going to throw you out of the house. That was always like the common threat. Like any time they got aggravated with me or any time they were just drunk and wanting to pick a fight with me, they would threaten to throw me out of the house. I'll never forget, my most proud moment in my life is the last time my dad did that, like threatened to throw me out of the house. I said, he didn't know this at the time. My mom knew this because I was a little closer to my mom than I ever was to my dad. Pardon me while I light my cigarette. But one of my proudest moments in life is when my dad confronted me, like, out of nowhere. I hadn't done anything wrong. I had just come home from work. I had worked probably from 5 in the morning to like 8 o'clock at night. I'm tired. I just want to go to bed. This drunk comes in wanting to pick a fight with me. Out of nowhere, he's saying, we're going to throw you out of the house. We're going to throw you out of the house. At the time, I was probably a little too old to still be living at home. I was 27 because my great big plan was that I would stay home and save up money till I had enough to put a down payment on a condo, which is eventually what I did. But my mom knew that I was going to be moving out because I had broken the news to her, but she had such a poor relationship with my father that she wasn't speaking to him and she hadn't told him yet. So on the following day, unbeknownst to him, I was scheduled to show up at the bank and sign the closing papers and move in. Basically, as soon as I signed the papers, I was able to like drive directly over to the condo and sleep there if I wanted to because it was mine. So my dad comes in and he's pulling his usual shit. He's like, as long as you live under my roof, you're going to live by my rules. I'm like, okay, what rule did I break now? And he says, we're going to throw you out on your head. And I'm like, well, fine. After tonight, you'll never have to deal with me again. And to my credit, I never went home again, except to collect my things, except to like gather up my belongings. The following day, I went to the closing. I signed the paperwork. All I got out of it was like a mug for New Mill Savings Bank. And from there, I went to work, and after work, I came to the condo for the first time, and I had no alarm clock, so I'll never forget that first night I spent in the house. I had to work the following day, and I had no alarm clock, and I was so tired after working like a 14-hour day. I didn't want to like go out to Walmart and buy an alarm clock, so I took my pager, because this is like 9 years ago, before like cell phones were around everywhere. I took my pager and put it on vibrate and put it in like the only glass that was in the house. In the cabinet, I found one glass. I took my pager, I threw it inside, set it on vibrate, and set the alarm. And that's what woke me up the next day, the sound of my pager vibrating in a glass. And Mr. Blance's poodle cat, and you're exactly right, that's exactly what she looked like. She was a beautiful cat. She was an orange Angora. And she was a huge pot fiend. I'll never forget this cat. We're going back a number of years now, and everybody knows that it's been many years that I've been sober now, clean and sober. Well, not sober, but I at least haven't smoked weed in several years. I gave up on the weed because it makes me paranoid, and it kills brain cells and makes you stupid. And I know this because I have friends from high school that have been smoking pot every day since we graduated, and now they're fucking half a retard. But back then, I used to smoke weed on pretty much a daily basis. I would come home and barricade myself in my bedroom and smoke my weed and, like, point the fan out the window. And if I had to pee, I'd pee in a glass or pee in a cup and, like, fling it out the window and kill my mom's plants. But cats have an uncanny sense of smell. And whenever I would be smoking, this cat, her name was Sandy, would always want to, like, be in there and get in on it. Because, you know, I used to like blow smoke in her face, and she used to love it and breathe it in, and you could see like the smoke going up her nostrils as she inhaled, and she loved smoking pot, and she'd get really mellow and purry for like hours on end. And if I were ever smoking pot and she wasn't involved and she was in the house, somehow she always knew. And I know this sounds very odd, but there was a screen door on my bedroom door when I was a kid. Because my parents were such paranoid control freaks, they wouldn't allow me to put a doorknob on my bedroom door and lock it. So, but what I could do is like put up a screen door just to make sure that the dogs wouldn't get into the room. Because I didn't want the dogs in my room because they're dirty and they're smelly. And to this day, I hate dogs. Well, I don't hate dogs, but I like other people's dogs, but I would never want to own one just because they're stupid and they're smelly and they're dirty. But I had a screen door on my bedroom door just so I could leave the door open so my parents were free to go in there and snoop around my shit all the time like they always did. And that's why I used to have to hide all my gay porn in the trunk of my car. And because at that point I had paid for the car without a cosigner, it was actually a big fight, but I was able to not give them a set of keys to my car. My first car, they demanded having a set of keys because they had co-signed for me. And my second car, they had demanded a set of keys, and I said, fuck you, I ain't giving them to you. Because I knew there's shit that I need to hide, like dildos and lube and porn and my diaries and shit would all be hidden in the trunk of my car. Because I couldn't lock the bedroom door. And the weed always came with me. At that time, when I left, the weed would come with me, even though I'm putting myself at risk of arrest, getting pulled over. But in those days, I used to smoke while I drove. I was like an expert at knowing all the back roads, how to get home, so that I wouldn't have a car behind me, so that I could smoke weed as I drove. Like, I had like special pipes that I would only use in the car where you could clench it in your teeth and light with one hand while I drove with the other. But yeah, anyway, there was a screen door on my bedroom, and on more than one occasion I would be in my bedroom smoking weed and not realizing that the cat was in the house. And I would hear like meowing at the door, and I'd open the door, and there, hanging at eye level, would be the cat, like clinging to the screen door, just at eye level, like in a panic trying to get into the room. And I'd open the door, and there would be the cat, like, staring me, like, directly in the face, eye to eye, like, screaming at the top of her lungs, like, let me in and get me high. Let me in and get me high. It sounds like a song, doesn't it? But yeah, that was Sandy. I have really cute pictures of Sandy from when she was younger. She used to play games with my parents because she was an outdoor cat mostly. So she would come in at night and spend the whole day outdoors, and my mom would always obsess over getting the cat back in the house. Like, after letting her out, getting her to come back in. And she would try to entice her by, like, chopping or tenderizing steak, because the cat knew that, the sound of tenderizing steak meant that Mom might cut off a piece and feed her some, like, raw steak, because she did that. So my mom had, like, all these different little tricks she would use to try to trick her to come back into the house. But I have the cutest picture of, like, an open door. Like, my mom is holding the door open. My mom's not in the picture, but my mom is holding the door open, and the cat is just sitting, like, peeking in. Like, trying to decide whether she wants to come back in for the day or not, because she knows she's not going to get let out until the next day, so she's hesitant to come in. She's hungry, and she wants to come in and eat, but she doesn't want to give up all the fun of being outdoors, right? So that's a great little picture. I'm going to post on the website. Too bad the cat died very shortly after I moved into this place. When I moved into my new place, I tried to adopt her because she was always my cat, and I tried to bring her over here, and she was just so upset by the new surroundings that the entire ride over, and while she was here for an hour, just crawling around and hiding and screaming, meowing at the top of her lungs, like super crazy, ridiculous loud. And I started to think, well, this is my first night here, and the cops are going to call the cops. The neighbors are going to call the cops on me because this cat just won't stop crying. And I'm trying to hold her, and I'm trying to snuggle with her, and I'm trying to get her to be quiet, and she just won't, because she was an old cat, and she was just so upset by new surroundings that she didn't know what to do with herself. So that's a part of the story I forgot. Like, even after working for like 14 hours, I had gone to my parents to pick up this cat and bring her over here to get her accustomed to the place, hoping that she would be like my new house cat. And I had to immediately turn around, or like an hour later turn around and drive all the way back to my parents' house, like a half-hour drive, to drop her off. Very sad. But she was very cute, and she was very proud. Like, you would see her, like, walking around the yard, because she was an outdoor cat. You would see her walking around the yard with her tail held high, like she was proud of her haircut. She was a bully of a cat, too. There was one time where there was a dog, somebody had left their dog to roam loose and go poop in other people's yards. And I just happened to be looking out the window. And I see this dog is running down the road, and it veers towards our yard. And the cat jumped down from a tree out of nowhere, and it stood at the edge of the property, and it bushed up, and it hissed, and it screamed, and the dog got scared and ran away. This cat was such a bully, it scared dogs out of the yard.
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Stubing. Is Richard there, please?
Who is this, please?
My name is Ed Rosenthal.
Yeah?
Right here from Durham.
Yeah? And, no, he's not here right now.
He's not there?
Not right now, no.
Is he out on business? Now she won't answer.
Hi, it's Pat. If you'd like to talk to me immediately, call me at 919-943. Otherwise, please leave a message and let me know what time is convenient for me to return your call. Thanks, bye.
Hello, Pat. This is Ed again. I have no idea why you'd be so angry and hang up on me so quickly for no reason, without giving me a chance to explain why I'm calling. The reason why I was calling is because I was recently going through one of my wife's old purses, and in one of the side pockets I found a slip of paper with this name on it, and it got me a little suspicious because it was one of those side compartments like it was a number she was trying to hide. So I was afraid something might be going on between my wife and your husband. And, you know what? I'll call back and I'll try to get in touch with Richard and ask him why my wife has his phone number hidden in an old purse of hers. There you go. KDK prank calls, ending marriages on a weekly basis. Next, we have Patrick Stibbs. I have no idea what I'm going to say, but I'll dial it anyway and see what happens. Trial and error. I'm still warming up. Don't you love the fact that I don't have to rely on music breaks so much now? Oh, we're going to voicemail. Wow, the timer even resets when it goes to voicemail.
Hello, you've reached Patrick and Monica Stibbs.
Right, okay. Next person on the list, Yusef Dedikovic. I considered doing the program with wireless headset tonight, because last week I did the show from the couch with a wireless keyboard and mouse, looking at things on the big screen. Today I'm back at the desk. I considered like using the wireless headset so that I could roam free through the house while I prank call people. But the audio quality for the wireless headset is not that great, and its incorporation with XP is spotty, or Vista is spotty because it was intended for XP.
Hello?
Hello, how are you doing, dear? Is this Mrs. Dedikovic?
Yeah?
I was looking for Yusuf. Is he there, please?
Yes.
Okay. I'll hold while you put him on. That would be joyous.
Hello?
Hello. Yusuf, I hope you're having a blessed day. It's me, Ed Rosenthal.
Who?
It's Ed Rosenthal.
I don't know you.
Well, of course you know me. I was the guy you met downtown. We were talking about the pyramids in Egypt and the Mayans and the Sphinx and all that, the Aztecs.
I don't remember, really.
You were telling me about how the Great Pyramids of Egypt were lined up with the constellation of Orion's Belt. And I said,
No.
you know, you're right. If you were to draw a direct line, there it would be. And then you went on to say how the Sphinx and the Aztec facial statues are the same as the face on Mars.
Hey, I really don't remember anything.
Well, it was at the bar, so you had had a couple drinks that night.
Yeah.
It
Who
was-
gave you right to call me so late?
You gave me your number. You
No,
said
I
my
didn't.
name is Yusef Dedikovic, and feel free to call me any time if you want to talk about the face on Mars.
No. That's wrong, man.
You don't remember.
I didn't give you that number.
You were so drunk that you don't remember.
Yeah, I was drunk. Okay.
You were telling me how you're an immigrant and you're new to this country, and telling me about your beliefs, that you felt that the Twin Towers were brought down with explosions instead of airplanes.
I didn't tell you anything.
Of course
what
you did.
So what do you want now?
I took a video of you on my cell phone camera because you were so drunk it was kind of funny. I posted it on YouTube.
Okay.
Right.
So what?
Well, you said you were unhappy with your wife and you had always had gay feelings. And you were attracted to me, so you said give me a call sometime when my wife's not around.
Hey. Maybe you are gay, I'm not.
Well, that's not what you said when you were drunk. The truth comes out when you're blotto, as
Hey.
they say.
Don't call me anymore.
What are you wearing?
Don't call me anymore.
Talk dirty to me.
Please don't call anymore.
That's
Bye.
not dirty enough. Talk dirtier. Pretend you're spitting on me and call me a faggot. And Nunu says I should call that last guy back at least twice. Find out just to find out if he's a top or a bottom. So just to humor Nunu, I'm going to call back and simply ask if he's a top or a bottom. So I'm going to have to scroll back up here because I had already given up on that guy. But he was funny, willing to hang on the line, and angry. So he fits a few criteria there for a good prank call. And I'm dialing again. Never call me again. Oh, that's a total invite to kill you tomorrow. Only an hour later than now.
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Dedakovic. How are you doing, dear? I'm sorry to bother you again.
I'm just gonna call police right now.
Well, don't call the police.
Hey, shut up, okay? Don't call me anymore.
I have a simple question. Where's the Skype hang-up sound? There it goes. I love how he's so cowardly. He doesn't want to pick up the line himself. He's got to put his wife up to doing it. Okay. Next person on the list is Midhat Turan. Is he related at all to Nighat that we've called before on the air? Nighat, whose last name I can't remember. And remind me if I forget, I definitely have to call up Umgard Unterfinger tonight, because I've called him before. And I remember the woman had a really funny voice. I don't remember anything else, but the woman had like a really funny little old lady voice.
Hi, you reached Family Tura. Please leave your message and call you back. Thank you.
Okay, he doesn't want to answer, so let me move on. Some of Midhat Turan's neighbors. Okay, so I can call up his neighbors and I can pretend to be Midhat, I guess. Midhat doesn't want to answer, but I can pretend to his neighbors that I'm Midhat. I can't do a good Arabic voice, though. I'd have to practice that for a couple hours.
Hello?
Hello, Mike. How are you doing, dear?
Pretty good.
This is Midhat. How are you doing?
Who?
Midhat, I live at 4225 98th. Here in Urbandale.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm calling is yesterday there was a homeless man sleeping out in front of your place there. He was there maybe from 3 in the morning till about 6 in the morning, when he was aroused by traffic and he moved off. So we need to do something about these bums, because it's like when you feed a stray cat. If you let it go by, then they just multiply, and more show up every day. We need to do something about these bums.
Okay.
So my idea was, maybe you go out there at 6 in the morning or whenever he's out there. He's not out there now. I can see he's not out there yet. I've seen him 3 times this week out there. But maybe next time you see him out there, you go out with a pot of water and throw it on him or something. Chase him away like you would a dirty alley cat. Or if you give me permission, I'll do it my own self.
Permission, huh?
Well, just tell me it's okay to go in front of your place there and throw a pot of water on the homeless guy that's sleeping in front of your place. Unless you're in cahoots with the bum. Are you letting him sleep there? Is that the case?
Where are you calling from?
Right here in Urbandale.
Where in Urbandale?
You live at number 4161. I live at 4225. My name is Midhat Turan. Funky name, but I know. I was born in this country from Arabic parents.
And what kind of house do you have?
It's a condo, like all of us. I got a Tudor, as they say.
Okay.
Are you letting this black homeless guy sleep out front or what? Is he a friend of yours? You tell him, oh, come sleep by my place. The cops won't bother you.
What state of Urbandale?
Iowa. What kind of game are you trying to play with me?
I don't know. I'm wondering what kind of game you're playing with me.
It sounds like you're trying to defend this homeless guy, like you're allowing him to stay there. At the detriment of our property values. It's hard enough to try to sell property in this day and age, with the economy the way it is, without you letting homeless people sleep in front of your place.
Yeah.
Right. He's got a shopping cart full of cans and garbage.
There's no homeless person in front of my place.
Right. Okay, so now I believe that you're not letting him stay there. Maybe you didn't know. Between 3 and 6 in the morning, a homeless man is coming by and crashing in front of your place.
He's not.
He is. I have pictures.
You do, huh?
I took a video and I put it up on YouTube.
Oh, good.
Of this guy.
Yeah.
He was out there trying to cook a can of beans with a can of Sterno.
Yes.
But he couldn't hold it steady. He was so drunk he kept falling over.
Okay.
And then the Sterno went out, so he popped it open and drank what was inside.
Yes.
With a can opener. Like opening a can of High C or Hawaiian Punch or something. I didn't even know you could drink that stuff. I thought it would kill you, but this guy was fine. Well, not fine. If you consider falling down drunk fine, then I guess he was fine.
Yeah.
Are you black? Is that why you let him stay?
No.
So why do you
really
let him stay?
Urbandale?
Why defend this man?
Are you really from Urbandale?
I told you I live at 4225. If you don't believe me, you can come any time and ring on my bell, and I'll talk to you. I live at 4225 98th Street in Urbandale, Iowa. Do you want to know the area code? It's 50322-1304. So you know I'm not talking shit. Do you want my phone number?
What street are you on?
What?
What street are you on?
How many times are you going to ask me the same thing?
You said 4225, right?
4225 98th Street in Urbandale, Iowa. 50322-1304. You know what? Maybe I should just call the police and tell them that you're letting homeless people sleep in front of your place there. You don't want to let them inside because they're smelling, they're dirty, but you let them sleep out front like the garbage they are?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I'll tell you what. Set your alarm clock for 3:30. Look out your window. You're going to see a homeless guy out there tonight. He's been there for the past 3 nights. At first, I thought you were in cahoots with him.
Why don't you just call the police?
Because he's homeless. He's got enough problems. I don't care that he's homeless. He's not really breaking any laws. I just don't like him here. He can go somewhere else. He's lowering the property values. They see the bums walking around the neighborhood, and nobody's going to want to buy my place. I want to move to Florida and sell this shithole.
You do you?
Iowa is a shithole. I want to get out.
I'm sure they'd be glad to have you gone.
I can tell from your voice and your attitude that you're in cahoots with this man. You know him. Maybe you feel like you owe him favors. Maybe not enough to let him in the house and stink up the place and get fleas and ticks and whatever everywhere. But you let him sleep in front of your place without calling the police. But I'm calling the cops tonight, and you're going to get woken up maybe 4 in the morning when the cops show up with their lights and sirens blaring to arrest this cocksucker. And I've seen him out there cooking up his heroin over that little cup of Sterno. Hello? You know, my mom used to do that. My mom used to get prank calls, and she would keep a whistle by the phone, and she would blow the whistle into the phone. I'm like, Mom, what the fuck do you think that's going to do? It's going to hurt your ears more than it's going to hurt somebody else after it's, like, translated through a telephone and watered down. But my mom, to her, it was some kind of revenge. I don't know why my mom used to get a lot of pranks. Probably because kids used to call her and she'd be like drunk and argue with them, like my dad when Jen Stewart called him. Pardon me while I light a cigarette here.
Anyway, that was Mike Korb. That was me, Midhat Turan, calling up Mike Korb. So now I can call up the next guy pretending to be Mike Korb, accusing him of calling the police for letting homeless people sleep on his porch.
Hello.
Hello, is this Rick?
It's Rick. Huh?
Yes, Rick.
How you doing?
I'm talking to Rick.
Oh, yeah, who's this?
My name is Midhat Turan. I live at 4225. You live at 4167. Mike Korb, who lives at 4161, just told me that you're the one that called the police because I let homeless people sleep on my lawn. And I'm not happy about it. You know, these people have nowhere else to go, and what do you care if they sleep on my lawn? It's my lawn, it's my right.
Who in the hell are you?
I told you already. Let me start from the beginning. My name is Midhat Turan. I know I sound American because I was born a parent
What street do you live on? And who are these frickin' homeless people you talking about? You must have the wrong number, buddy.
No, I live at 4225 98th Street in Urbandale, Iowa. Right? You live at 4167 98th Street in Urbandale, Iowa.
Are you just fucking with me or what?
No. You're the one who's fucking with me.
What are you talking about?
I've been
what? You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I've been drinking tonight, so I apologize.
Yeah, I know. Why? How in the hell did you get my fucking number? Don't be calling me.
Because your neighbor, Mike Korb, gave it to me. He lives at 4161. Right, Mike Korb. He lives at 4161. He said that you're the one that called the police on the homeless people who sleep on my lawn.
Oh, okay. All right, you guys are just messing with me.
No, you stop calling the cops because it's my right if I want to let homeless people sleep on my lawn. I don't care about
That's fine with me. You want to do that? I don't give a shit. I didn't call any police. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
So you're telling me, Mike...
Some alcoholic help, buddy.
You're telling me that Mike is fucking with me?
Yeah.
Mike said you're the one who called the cops. Do you even know Mike Korb?
He's in the yellow house.
Right, so you do know him.
Yeah, you dumb shit. I'm right next to him.
Well, a couple doors down, but yeah. So why would he tell me...
What are you calling me for? I'll tell you what.
I told you, I'm calling you because I called him.
Get sobered up. Go to bed and get sobered up, buddy. Don't call me again.
He said you're the one calling the cops on me for letting homeless people sleep in my yard.
Homeless people, okay. All right.
And I tell you, I'm going to invite more homeless people.
Tell me?
I'm going to invite them
You're
to
going to tell me nothing other than you're fucking crazy.
We're going to have Tent City on my lawn with homeless people everywhere. I love starting fights with neighbors. And we also have somebody else on the same street. I'm just going down the whole block, like getting everybody pissed off at each other. Next person is at 4167, same street. And I'll come up with some kind of bogus story before he answers, hopefully. In the 2 seconds between whence to dial and whence he answers. And Pej Jameson wants me to tell people to move to Centralia.
Hello.
Hello, Rick. How you doing, dear?
Good. Who's this?
Please don't make fun of my voice. My name is Jill Rosenthal. I'm 87 years young, and I've been diagnosed with throat cancer.
Yeah?
Who's
this?
I'm calling because my husband, out of the kindness of his heart, has been letting homeless people sleep on his lawn for the past month or so. Are you laughing at me?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Rick, my husband is a friend of Mike Korb, who apparently lives nearby you.
Yeah.
And for the past month or so, we've been allowing homeless people to camp out on our lawn. And he tells us that you're the one who called the police to roust all the homeless people away.
I don't see any homeless people at your house.
Not yet. I tell them to arrive between 3 and 6.
3 and 6? That's a good time.
Right. Because they're homeless, so they're usually up drinking until then at least.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what.
Rick!
Yeah.
I'm just kidding with you. This is Mike Korb. How you doing, man?
I don't know, Mike. Are you right next door?
Yeah, 4161.
Okay, what's going on, Mike?
I'm sitting here bored, drunk, watching a game, and I want to see if you're doing anything. Come on over and watch it with me.
Oh, no, I'm not going to come over. Which game? There's no games on now.
I've got everything on TiVo. Whatever game you want to see it from the past week, I got it on TiVo. Whatever you want to see. I'm just like bored. My wife is passed out. The kids are asleep. I don't have to work tomorrow. You don't have to work tomorrow.
I've had a day. I don't know. I don't feel like it.
You have a date?
I've had a day here today. I just don't feel like it, so.
Well, I know. All the more reason to come over and kick back a couple brews with your old buddy Mike Krob.
All right. Well, maybe some other time, man. All right. Catch you later.
Okay, keep me in mind.
All right, bye.
Peace out, my nigga. He wasn't buying it at all. Okay, that didn't go anywhere. So I have a couple more people from the same street. I love the fact that Lonesome Loser tonight set up a concept. Like, he wants me to fuck with all people on the same street and confirm numbers for everybody in the same street, so I can get the neighbors fighting with each other. And this one has homeless people sleeping on their lawn, and this one has accused other people of having homeless people sleeping on their lawn, and this one wants somebody to come over and watch football with them and whatever. I'm going to call up a John R. Pilmer who lives at 4201 same street. I'm just having way too much fun tonight. I love Skype. It's brought the fun back to prank calling for me, really. I don't think I've done a show with this many prank calls in a long time.
Hello?
Hello, how are you doing, love? It's me, it's Edna.
Who?
Edna Myrtle Rosenthal, that's me.
Oh.
Oh.
Edna Rose.
Right.
Right.
I live here on Urbandale.
Okay.
And I'm sick of you letting your dog shit all over everyone's yard.
Where do you live?
My name is Edna. I'm staying with my grandson for the summer. He lives
Where?
at 40... You be quiet and listen, woman.
My dear, I don't know who you are. My dog is in our yard. We have a little black dog.
Of course you don't know who I am, because I'm staying with my grandson here. His name is Rick. He lives at 4167. Every morning, I see that little dog come from your yard and poop on everyone else's grass. And what gives you the right?
Just keep talking, my dear.
Seriously, what gives you the right to let other people...
Hey, I don't know
deal
who
with
you
your
are.
dog crap?
It is 10:30 at night. I don't know what gives you the right to call me and complain about my dog. If Rick has a complaint about my dog, or Renee, let them come over and tell me.
Well,
Not
they
you.
work during the day. They don't see what happens.
I talk to Renee a lot.
Renee
All
is
she
a
has-
cunt. My son never should have married that woman.
Well, look, that's Rick's problem, but don't worry about my dog. If
Of
I
course,
have anything
I worry about your
problem with
dog
my
because
dog,
you let him poop on our yard.
I will visit with Renee or Rick about my dog, but not with you. I don't know what
Well,
the
I'll be
problem
there.
is.
I'll
Pardon
be
me?
there. You want to visit with Renee? I'm there for the summer, so you're going to see me.
Well, that's fine.
You
I
wanna-
have no problem with that. I will visit with Renee.
I've
But if
collected
Renee
a-
and Rick have a problem with my dog, let Renee and Rick come and talk to me about it, not you.
I've collected a couple poops in bags. You come over
Well,
here, I'm flinging them at you.
Could I speak with Renee right now?
Renee and Rick are out on the town. They went out drinking.
Okay.
They left me here alone.
Okay.
Like they don't give a damn. Should I fall and break a hip? I just sit
Are you
here in
Rick's
my
mother?
misery, I guess.
Are you Rick's mother?
What?
Are you Rick's mother?
I'm 87 years young.
You are Rick's mother, correct?
Grandmother.
Whose?
I am Rick's grandmother.
Grandmother. Okay.
But I'm not
well,
too blind to see your dog leaving piles in our yard.
well, look, if you have I will talk to
And
Rick.
I know
Renee
it's your
about this.
dog because I see that's where he comes from.
Okay,
and
I
that's
live
where he
next
goes
door to
back
you.
to.
I have a look.
It's almost like
Are
you
you-
trained him
are
to
you
come
drinking?
poop here.
Are you drinking?
I'm 87 years old and on so many medications, if I drank, I'd die immediately.
Well, my husband is 87 years old also, and he minds his own business. He doesn't butt into anybody else's business.
Well, what
as
does
far as
that
I'm
have to do with
concerned, this
anything?
is Rick and Renee's business,
What
not
does-
yours.
What does your husband have to do with anything? It's you and the dog pooping in our yard.
No, it's my husband's dog also.
He
It's not
crapped
just
on the
my
porch
dog.
and I stepped out to grab the paper and I stepped right in it.
You don't, because he does not poop on your front porch.
Well, you're old like me, so maybe you don't see when he runs and he poops in our yard.
Well, you don't step in my dog's poop picking up the front
Well,
the
no
paper
one
off
else
of the
around
front
here
porch.
has a dog but you.
What?
No one else around here has a dog but you, so it's gotta be you.
My dear, there's a dog on, 2 white dogs on the other side of you.
Oh dear, really?
Yes, and there is a boxer behind me.
They were small turds, almost like cat size. So
I
it was
don't
probably
care
a
what
smaller dog
size
like
turds
yours.
they are. Look, I'm hanging up, and I will talk to Renee and Rick tomorrow.
I'm
I'm not
take
going
this
to talk
poop I
to you
have in a
anymore.
bag and I'm gonna leave it on your doorstep in the hopes that you'll step in it and slip and break your hip like I almost did.
Okay, you do that.
Okay, I'll be over in several moments.
Okay, but tonight, will you be over tonight?
I'll be over all summer.
Okay. You just do that, and I will visit with Rick and Renee tomorrow.
Don't talk with Renee. Talk with my son,
I
my
will
grandson,
talk
Rick.
with whomever I please.
Renee is a cunt and she lies.
Pardon me?
I say Renee is a cunt and she lies. You talk to Rick, my grandson. He's a good boy.
I will speak to either one of them, my dear. I don't know who you are. I have never met you.
Look.
And as far as I'm concerned, it's none of your business.
I'm not too old to kick your ass.
I'm hanging up.
Okay, I'm going to come right
Here,
down there.
here, hey, listen, talk to my husband.
Hello.
Hello. I'm an elderly woman. And if
Yeah.
your wife lets your dog poop in my yard one more time, I'm coming down there with the poop, and I'm going to kick her ass and rub it in her face.
Okay, that's me fine.
Okay,
Because my
well,
dog-
how about the hucklebuck?
That's because my dog isn't pooping in your yard.
Your daughters? Now you're being silly.
I say my dog doesn't poop in your yard.
Okay. I thought you said you were going to take a poop in my yard.
Well,
Because I'll not stand by that. I'll come out there and kick you right in the handbag.
How big your dog is it?
It's a middle-sized dog. It's brown mostly with spots and shit.
Oh, we don't have that dog. That's not our dog.
No?
Our dog's black.
Well, I'm old and colorblind. Right, I see him come from your place, poop in my yard, and go back to
Where do
your
we
place.
live? Where do we live?
I know. Don't you try to fool me, John Pilmer. I know where you are.
Where am I?
You're at 4201 98th Street in Urbandale, Iowa.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, where are you?
Well, I don't want to tell you exactly because you just said you're going to come over and poop in my yard.
I didn't say that.
Well, I thought that's what you said.
No, I didn't say it. I said my dog doesn't come over and poop in your yard.
You own that little black dog. The one that comes and craps in my yard.
No, no.
Tell me
No,
about the Hucklebuck.
Huh?
Tell me about the Hucklebuck.
Hucklebuck.
The Hucklebuck.
What's a Hucklebuck?
That Lipinski. He had nothing to do with it.
What?
What?
What'd you say?
If that dog comes over here and craps in the yard again, I
Okay.
told her already, I'm collecting the poop in a bag, I'm coming down there, I kick her ass, and I shove the poop in her face.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, well then, we're
Our
square.
dog is not pooping in your yard.
Is Connie Lingus there?
Who?
Connie Lingus.
No, you're talking to the wrong people.
No, this is John Pilmer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The guy with the dog that poops in my yard.
No.
Well,
No,
I have photographic evidence. We've set up surveillance cameras. We've recorded this little black dog coming down for the past week. He comes from your yard, he poops in ours, and goes right back to yours, almost as though you've trained him to do so.
No, that's not our dog.
I'm going to put my husband on.
You're gonna what?
Hello?
Yeah?
Is this
Hello?
the guy whose dog keeps pooping on my lawn?
Well, no, that's not my dog.
Well, listen. Just let me beat the little thing up. Next time it comes over, I'll beat it silly and teach it a lesson not to come and poop in other people's yards.
Yeah, you do that.
Right?
Yeah.
So next
Yeah.
time, I'm not going to
Because
come
that
over there.
won't be-
No, the dog is
that
going to
won't
come
be
over
my-
here like he
that
always
won't
does.
be my dog.
The dog's going to come over here like he always does to poop in our yard. I'm going to shut the front gate. I'm going to kick its ass, and then I'll let it go, and it'll go back there and maybe learn its lesson.
Yeah, why do you do that?
Okay, well then we're square. Then you and I don't have to fight.
No,
Okay.
Because my dog don't come in your yard.
Well, if he don't come in my yard, you got nothing to worry about. I'll be beating up someone else's dog.
What? Yeah, that's right. That's
Okay.
right.
Right, so you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
It's all
Okay.
good then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What about that Lipinski? He had nothing to do with the Hucklebuck.
Hucklebuck.
He had nothing to do with it. That's one thing that you and I stuck together with on that.
On what?
The Hucklebuck.
What's that?
Is the alcoholic there? Or Connie Lingus?
Connie Lingus.
Or Peppy Roney?
Who's that?
Sal Amy? You're friends with
Who?
Sal Amy. You remember How'd You Like a Kick?
No.
Well, I do. We go way back. We used to finger each other under the board there during the Hucklebuck. You remember the Hucklebuck?
Nope.
I gotta go. Literally,
I
I
don't
have
know
to
who
go.
you are.
I need to
I
go
don't
and
know
drop
who
a
you
double.
are.
I need to go drop a deuce.
Huh? Oh, yeah. We'll talk to Rick about it.
Okay, you talk to Rick in the morning.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And we'll be
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
And I'm ready to give you what for, by God. You want to give him some lip, I'm going to pop you in the mouth.
Okay.
Okay, as long as you
That's
know
good.
and you're ready for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Well, we had some fun there, starting fights with everybody up and down the street, but we're not done yet. We still have several more numbers from the people on the same goddamn street. I'm not going to be happy until I start like a block riot with like neighbors fighting with each other.
Scusi, Barbara Boopy? Che cosa? Peter, what are you doing? Speaking Italian. Barbara Boopy? Peter, you can't speak Italian just because you have a mustache.
Tu sei un pazzo, va via da qui. Sono stanco di te, ti do un pugno nella testa. Uccido con questa carne.
Chupa carajo. Okay, I'm back, and people are blinking, so let me see what they have to say. Page Jameson says, tell him to move to Centralia. Fucking great, holy fucking shit. Tent City, we give them pink underwear so they don't sell it. I actually heard that clip on like Daily Show or something. Call me as soon as you're done with this call. Damn, I would love to call that guy as Quint. That's awesome. I love Quint. I'm actually going to grab my cell phone here so I can look up Pedge's cell phone, or, yeah, Pedge's number, so I can call him through the Skype here.
Hello?
Hello, is this the travel agency?
Yes, it is.
I would like...
Would you like to book a flight to Centralia?
Yes, I would like your 12-day trip through Centralia.
You want to suck up the smoke with me?
Wonderful. I love arsenic.
Oh, that's hot. That's smeche. Dude, whose idea was that to, like, call the neighbors on the same street?
That was Lonesome Loser. And I'm still not
Dude, I've been doing internet radio for, like, 9 years, and I have to kiss that guy's ass. That is the best fucking thing I've heard in my life. That was fucking great. I bow down to this guy.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Dude, you can make a whole CD, like, you know, like each CD is like a different block of neighbors.
Yeah, really, just get them all fighting.
Holy dude, when you're done, will you please send me an MP3 of that? That's just fucking...
Oh, it'll be up on the site by the end of the week, of course.
Oh, God. I don't know. I'll turn it back. I don't know.
I know. Didn't he sound like
that
the
kind of like
Hucklebuck
his
guy?
Lucky Strikes. Holy shit.
He totally sounded like the Hucklebuck guy. You remember him?
Yeah. He had nothing to do with the fucking, yeah. We both agreed on that fucking. I punched him in the mouth one time.
Yeah, that's
Remember when oh, too bad I didn't think of that line. Remember when I broke that old fucking record over your head and knocked you out for a week, you prick? Too bad I didn't
Dude, I'm
think of
sitting
that.
here, and, I mean, besides it being a prank, it's funny on its own, but it's funnier when you realize you're calling everybody in the same fucking block.
And they know each other.
Yeah. I'm going to come over there. I'm going to talk to Renee myself.
Right. I'm saying Renee's a cunt. Don't talk to Renee. You got to talk to Rick, my grandson.
You should do it like another one. You should like get a whole new block of neighbors and accuse one of the other one of stealing cable, and then work all the way down the street. Accuse the next one of stealing the cable from the people before that.
I did this years ago because I had read in the paper about a woman who was caught for shoplifting, and I did. If you go to whitepages.com, you can do there's a link on there where you can click on Find Neighbors. So I found her neighbors, and I called up as her neighbors, like accusing her of stealing different various, like she stole my bird bath, she stole my old car that was up on cinder blocks, and like I called up as all her different neighbors, like accusing her of stealing shit. And then I called her neighbors as her, threatening to steal her shit.
Fucking classic. Yeah, you definitely got to do one. Your next little batch should be keep on these, but you should do a whole new address, a whole new block, and accuse a person of stealing your cable, and then call the person right next to them and accuse them of stealing their, you know what I mean? Work the way down.
Right. So everyone's accusing each other till you get to the guy next. We need to find somebody who is like closest to the telephone pole.
Yeah, and then work your way down.
With
the magic that is Google Maps, you can actually look at their. Oh, I know what house it is. It's that yellow one with the little fire hydrant in front.
With that kind of preparation, you really could do that nowadays. We can get.
Yeah, everybody could be fucking going batshit.
Even you said the other night when you were talking to me in Ventrilo that I seem like a new man, like I seem like new and invigorated and excited about prank calling again, all because of Skype.
Yeah.
I was so turned off about prank calls because of the fucking phone card rigmarole, but now I feel like a new man.
Yeah, that's why I don't answer anything usually that says 001.
Yeah,
unless I'm in the UK, then I'll pick it up, but...
but you told me to call, so you were expecting me.
Yeah, but you can make a whole CD off, like, you know, a whole CD off, like, every fucking neighborhood.
How about next week we do a show together? I can do a conference call and we can make pranks together through Skype. Would you?
Yeah, I would have loved to like talk to that guy you were just talking to. Was Quint. That would have been fucking fabulous because the guy would have what?
Maybe not for the whole show, but just for come on for a little while and do some Quint prank calls because I think that is the most hysterical voice I've ever heard.
What, Quint?
Even counting the Jerky Boys and every other prank caller I know, I think Quint is the voice that makes me laugh the most. It doesn't even matter if you're making jokes or not. You can just be mumbling and uttering complete
just mumble
nonsense.
and like I told you where the influence came from. Partly, yeah, of course, Robert Shaw. But you remember the old cartoon Danger Mouse?
No.
Danger Mouse? Nickelodeon?
I remember it being on, but I wasn't a watcher.
Yeah, Colonel K was he used to send Danger Mouse on missions. And he would mumble sometimes, oh, Danger Mouse.
So
I combined Colonel K from I combined Colonel K from Danger Mouse with Quint. And that's where you get the...
You see what I mean? You don't even have to say words to make me laugh with that. Imagine calling up a woman who's...
I'm making up words as I'm talking. I'm like throwing a bunch of words together like in a fucking clusterfuck.
When did you When did you start tuning in tonight? Did you hear when I called the 100-year-old woman?
No, I tuned in like about a half hour ago when you were still on
I was still fucking with all the same people on the same street.
Yeah.
Fucking up the whole
That's
lot.
classic. I can't believe the fucking Jerky Boys didn't make like 6 CDs out of this. Because that's the funniest fucking thing. Well, I was just going there. I could imagine like the aftermath.
And she's being all smart. I'm going to go and talk to Renee tomorrow. And I'm like, Renee's a cunt. Talk to Rick.
I'm sitting here, and you know, it is funny when you're prank calling, but it's so much funnier when you realize you're calling all the fucking same neighbors.
Right. And when you drop
and
a
you
word,
were just talking like the house
cunt,
before
I expect
that.
him to hang up. Like I expect a word like cunt to be a call ender, and I'm surprised that didn't end the call right there. You know, people hear the word cunt, they click hang up on you right away. But I pushed it, and she bought it. Luckily. You got to feel people out and figure out how much they're going to be able to accept before they hang up on you. But they bought it hook, line, and sinker. They're like totally pissed off at these people, and they're going to be there tomorrow.
I can see, okay, you can make one CD of like all the calls, and then the sequel, Joe Street, the aftermath, where you call them the next day.
Yeah.
And see what happened.
So what did Renee have to say for you, old lady? She called me a cunt and told me to go fuck myself.
Oh my God!
And he was asking about
That's a classic. You remember when Jerky Boys like started doing the incoming calls about the ads? Like, oh God, I got a Civil War with the boat with the bones still in it. Thank you.
That's probably my favorite.
I mean, that was
Civil
funny,
War
right? But it got old after a while. If they had done that, oh Jesus!
And Sal's Chainsaw Shock.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that shit.
But whoever, the guy, if he's still, dude, you're a fucking genius. That's just funny fucking shit.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. And coming from you, that means a lot because I have such a great respect for you.
And geez, I've been doing this shit 9 years. Well, 2000, yeah. 9 years.
Yeah, but you've been doing that shit even longer than me. God damn. I started in, what, 2002? I've only been going...
All right, now, let's start sucking each other's dicks now already, you know.
Okay. Well, it was good talking to you, Fetch. I'll let you go and get back to doing some more prank calls.
All right, man, I'll be listening.
Let me go fuck with some more old women. Let me go fuck with some more people on that... What was that street? Let me... What the hell street was that? That was, God, I got so many pop-ups. I'm having a hard time managing my pop-ups because everybody's excited about the prank call, the last prank call I did. That's Peg, so I can close him out. See, what happens is sometimes people get grouped together because I have like users grouped in like here are my groups. I have buddies, I have prankers, I have listeners, I have hookups, which would never call like while I'm on the air because they'd never know that I'm on the air. And then celebrities and assholios, like people I don't like. And Ellie says, your website, I'm trying my best, is a chat called KDK. Ellie, for one, is not an IRC chat. It is a Java chat. You just click the link at kdkprankcalls.com and it'll put you right through. Is that your problem? You're still trying to connect to like an IRC chat from like 2 years ago? She says, never mind, I think I might have it, wish me luck. Okay, so I can close that out. Randy Dandy says, tell Peg Quint is the greatest voice of all time. Every time I hear that voice, I laugh my ass off. And I'm right with you, Randy Dandy. I think that voice is absolutely fucking hysterical. And I forget where I left off. Did I leave off on Rick Molden or John Pilmer? We're still on 98th Street in Urbandale, Iowa, and we still have several more numbers, tons more numbers of people from the same street. Apparently that's the theme of the night, like getting all the neighbors to fight with each other. Too bad we're not there to see the aftermath. Maybe you can look it up on Google Maps and see like old men fighting in the street over calls that I've made to them. But let me. I think I called Rick Molden. That was the last person that I called. I think. Somebody remind me, who was the last person that I called? I've had like 5 shots, and I'm on an empty stomach, so I forget who I called last. Peg says, oh, where am I in the tabs? Lol. Peg, I minimize you, because you pop up as a celebrity. And you're currently the only celebrity talking to me right now. Now, Peg is all honored to know that I regard him as a, quote, celebrity. I wish I could open up my celebrity folder just to see the other people that are in there, but I do have online contact with a lot of high-profile people that I don't really give a hard time. Bobby Trendy is still in there, and Billy Mira, and... I try not to be a pain in the ass to these people.
Hello?
Hello, how are you doing, love? It's Ed Rosenthal. Is this Mrs. McEwen?
Yes.
Well, I was just told, I was calling around the block, calling to all my neighbors. I live here on Urbandale. And I spoke to Rick Molden. Apparently he's one of your neighbors. Do you know Rick? Are you familiar with who he is?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, he lives at 4167.
No, I don't know him.
And you live at 4213, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
But he tells me you're the one who lets the dog out every day, that walks down the block, and comes and craps in my yard, almost as though he's been taught to do so.
No, sir, we don't own a dog.
You don't have a dog?
You don't own a dog. No, sorry.
So why would he be blaming you? Why would he be telling me it's you?
Question, sir. I have no idea. We live in the big blue house with the red door, and
I know. I've driven past it many times before they took my license away.
We have no dog. We don't own a dog.
What?
No, I don't know why someone would say we do, but we don't own a dog.
They tell me I'm unsafe to drive just because I drove through a parade once.
Yeah, what? What?
They tell me I'm unsafe to drive just because I drove through a parade once. I didn't know there was a parade going on, and I just drove through the intersection, and I ran over a couple folks. But it wasn't my fault. I didn't know there was a parade that day.
A crank call. Sorry.
No, not at all. I'm the guy who ran over the people in the parade. You must remember me. You read about it in the paper. Hello? Oh,
Hello?
Greg, how are you doing, dear? This is Ed Rosenthal from Union, Urbandale, Iowa.
Yeah?
Right. So how you doing, buddy? It's been a long time since I've talked to you.
What
What are you calling? What are you calling about?
I'm calling Greg Thompson. That's you, right?
Yeah?
And I'm calling about your dog crapping in my yard because one of your neighbors told me it was you that had the dog that keeps coming and crapping in my yard.
Well, you're way wrong.
You got a dog on you?
Yes?
So, teach him to stop crapping in my yard.
I have no idea who you're talking about or what you're talking about. I got a feeling you're drunk. And my dog never leaves my yard. So what the hell are you doing? Call me.
Listen, I don't drink. But I just got off the phone with John McEwen. He's one of your neighbors. And he says he lives across the street from you. He says that you're the one that opens the gate, lets the dog go, and just poop wherever he wants. And maybe you don't know it, but where he always comes to poop is my front yard. By God.
No, that's not true.
Well, of course it is. I've got video evidence.
Oh, you're so, I don't know what you're talking about. My dog never leaves the yard, so.
Well, maybe not always, but sometimes you forget the gate open and he gets out.
No. Who is this and where do you live?
You have that stupid, ugly black dog.
No, you're wrong again.
White dog.
I'm hanging up.
Don't hang up, I'll call right back.
Well, then I'll call the police.
I've got the poops on my lawn that prove I know what I'm talking about.
You have no poops in the yard. I have no idea what you're talking about.
And I've got photographic evidence. I live here on Urbandale, and every day I set up a video surveillance camera outside my window that films your dog coming, poop in my yard, and run away, and go back to your place there. Almost as though you taught him to do it. Hello? Maybe this concept is washed up. Maybe we're done with fucking with people on the street. Maybe we gotta come up with a new idea. That was Greg Thompson. Next is, I still have like fucking 20 more numbers for people on the street. This is like ridiculous. I'm going like door to door, like harassing every single person on this fucking block. I love whitepages.com, where you can look up find neighbors.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Krause. How are you doing, dear? It's me, Mrs. Rosenthal, the lady with throat cancer.
The lady with what?
The lady with throat cancer. I apologize for my voice, but there's nothing I can do about it, dear, because I have the throat cancer. I live down the block from you. This is Pat, right?
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Krause. How are you doing, dear?
Who are you?
My name is Rosenthal. And I suffer from throat cancer. That's why I sound like this. I'm sorry to call you so late.
What can I do for you?
Well, one of your neighbors, his name is Leonard Twarowski, told me that someone from your place is the one who's been coming, giving themselves a bath in my bird bath every morning.
What has been doing what?
He claims that the person who is coming to my house to give themselves a sponge bath in my bird bath is coming from your place. And I'm wondering what's up with that. Is there someone crazy in the house or something?
Not at my house. My husband can barely walk.
Well, he said he did shuffle and limp pretty good.
Well, it's not my husband, because my husband can barely get out of bed, so that's not him.
So, dear, it must be you. Are you the only other person living there?
It's not me, I can guarantee you.
Are you the only one living there besides your husband?
I think that this call is probably... there's nothing I can do for you, and I'm going to bed.
No,
Good night.
no, please don't play games with me. I'm very ill. I suffer. Oh, you bitch.
Hello?
Hello, Colleen. Is that you, dear?
Yes, who's calling?
It's Ed Rosenthal. I bet you're happy to hear my voice.
Who is it?
Ed Rosenthal. From right here on Urbandale. How you doing, love?
I guess I don't know who you are.
I'm staying with Pat at 4304. I'm her grandfather.
Pat who?
Pat Croce.
Oh.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So how you doing, dear? I'm sorry to call you so late, but I couldn't help but notice that not mere moments ago there was just somebody running around outside our window and ran into your yard fully naked.
Oh, my.
A grown man.
Really?
Dingleberries hanging out and everything. Just running through the lawn. I called the cops already, but they said it'll be 5 minutes before they get here.
Okay.
In the meantime, there's a naked man running through the neighborhood. Does he belong there? Is that your husband or something? Because that's where he ran back to.
No. Nobody here.
And you haven't seen any naked people running through your yard or nothing?
No, I haven't.
See, we have these motion detecting lights over here.
Uh-huh.
And he ran through the yard, so all the lights went off. And I looked out the window to see what was happening. And goddamn if I didn't see a bare-ass naked man, nuts and balls hanging out, running through the yard. Not 2 minutes ago.
Really?
Quite well hung, too. I was almost jealous. And he was heading towards your place there. If you turn on the light outside and look out, do you see anything? You see like someone hiding behind something? Someone hunkered down and crouched behind something or anything? Okay, I'm not having much luck with these calls. But anyway, like I said, earlier in the week, I did a bunch of off-the-air prank calls where I called like my neighbors. I broke open my local phone book and I called up my neighbors to report that our local supermarket had sold them tainted swine flu pork. And it went on for about 20 minutes. And probably about at least like 10 good prank calls in there. And I haven't had a chance to edit it, so it's like all one big, long, 19-minute file. But I'd like to share it with you now if I could. Josh T56 says, are you booked up for prank calls? Actually, we are booked up for prank calls, but if you want to give one, Josh, I'll by all means give it a try. Because I've done at least a few of everybody else's calls, so I may as well, spread the wealth. Nunu says, here's a video of Ed's date. Oh, God, he's got a video of the old lady that Ed eventually, the 100-year-old lady that Ed got a date with. I can't wait to see this. I clicked on the link. I'm going to watch the video here now. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. She looks like at least 120. It's one of those videos that forces you to...
Would you like to know the secrets of living a longer, fuller life? How about volunteering? That's what one Branson woman suggests, and you might want to take her advice. She is 100 years old. Jessica Williams joins us now with more on Helen Gosnell. Jessica?
Yeah, Helen is 100 years old. She's been volunteering at Skaggs Hospital for 28 years, and she'll be turning 101 in August. She doesn't plan on slowing down anytime soon.
Okay. That's it.
Helen Gosnell is a familiar face at Skaggs Hospital. At least 2 days each week, Helen delivers mail, answers the phone, and talks with patients.
Oh, I'll be here tomorrow. I might see you then.
She says volunteering is the perfect way to keep herself busy.
My husband's been dead for several years, and so I'm by myself, and it gives me something to do and get to meet people, and yeah, I like it.
The hospital volunteer president says there's more than 300 volunteers, and that number continues to grow. She says the hospital works hard to find a job that each person will enjoy doing.
It gives them a purpose, to get up in the morning and get here and do their job, and they're all very efficient and very good.
In addition to helping out around the hospital, volunteers also run the gift shop and organize fundraisers. This education center is one of the projects volunteers helped to fund. Last year, it saved the hospital $13,000 in training fees for physicians and nurses.
If the hospital needs something, they tell us what they need, and then we try to furnish that for them.
Helen says she doesn't have any secrets to staying healthy until you're 100, but she does think people can make a difference at any age.
I just lived my ordinary life, and I'm still here, so I guess if they do the same, well, they'll be lucky as I am.
Now, Skaggs isn't the only hospital that takes volunteers. St. John's and Cox also have great volunteer programs.
I gotta say, she doesn't look a day over 80. Like that's some kind of compliment at all. Okay, let me close that out. That was a video about the 100-year-old lady that I called earlier tonight, courtesy of Nunu. And he says, he sends me a Reds 2-bar soundboard. He wants me to do Red. Okay. You know, this is something I've been wondering. I've been wondering for a while, is if I play a sound through my computer, if the people I call on Skype can actually hear it. So this will be a good test. I'm just going to call up a random number, like one of the numbers on the list here, the next number on the list here, and just see if they can actually hear what I'm playing for them. This is just a test.
Hello.
And I still don't have an answer. Paige is going to help me test my audio right now.
Hello?
Paige, I'm sorry to bother you again, but I have a question to ask you. When I play a sound through my computer, can you hear it?
No, what the fuck was that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Was that a dog?
I'm playing the Red soundboard to you.
Oh, okay, play something I can actually, differentiate, because if you call somebody with that, they're just going to be like, what the fuck, and hang up. Play, any kind of voice.
Okay, let me go find
like a movie clip, whatever.
I'm going to go find the Gladys Richford soundboard, because that's my personal favorite.
Am I in the air?
Yeah.
Okay. Thing is, with my sound card, I run it through a loop, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Maybe you have a different sound card where you can check everything, like what you hear, and then it sends right through, but...
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, Jesus, that's good.
That one wasn't too clear. What was the next one? The one you said, oh, Jesus, whatever.
Hello?
That's fine.
It's Gladys.
Hi, Gladys.
Hello?
Hello?
You lying son of a bitch.
Okay, so you can hear my sounds. So
yeah.
I can do live soundboard prank calls. I never knew I could do that. This opens up a whole new realm of possibilities.
Now, what I would do is I turn your send down a little bit, okay? If you're going to do soundboard pranks, turn it down. I'd say turn it down like 2 bars. Turn it down right now.
It's coming out a little too loud?
Yeah, a little bit. That's why I couldn't, I was like, what the hell? Is that supposed to be dog or what?
Listen, you bitch.
Is that with the volume down?
No.
Okay, alright. Turn it down. 1 bar. Try 1 bar.
See, I don't want to have to switch between my vocal audio and the prank calls and the soundboard. So I need to find a happy medium.
Your voice is loud anyway. So if you turn it down, it'll probably sound better anyway. Turn it down 1 bar.
Let me try to find a happy medium here.
That's what we're doing, right? We're happy medium.
I'm turning it
Sorry,
down.
folks, you got to hear sound check.
I'm turning it down 2 bars.
Okay.
Okay, now how do I sound? Am I loud enough?
You sound the same as you always do.
Okay.
Now it's on the soundboard.
Hello?
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 Oh,
yeah, try
God.
some different ones. I'll read them back to
I
you.
don't appreciate that language. Hello?
I don't appreciate that language. Hello.
Hold on, let me get a shot of birch.
Hold on, let me get a shot of birch.
So it works.
Yeah,
Okay,
fine,
awesome.
perfect.
I wish I knew how to do prank calls with you, but from what I know, I'd have to set up like a conference and then.
Yeah, I have to get on Skype.
Yeah.
You know what I always wanted to do? I always wanted. Okay, do you know who Kenny Baker is?
It sounds familiar. Is that the guy from
Kenny Baker. Kenny Baker's the midget who was in the R2 outfit.
Oh,
the R2. Yeah. He was the midget who was inside the R2. I say outfit. I mean the fucking robot.
The poor midget
And,
was stuck in that tin can for 12 hours a day.
Yeah, there was a documentary recently about Star Wars, and he was talking about how much he hates Anthony Daniels. And he was raw. He was like,
really?
I don't
What's
know
the name of that?
What?
What's the name of that? I'd love to see it. Anthony Daniels.
It was called.
Those
It was
of
a
you who
UK.
don't know,
It was a UK thing. It was called Bring Back Star Wars. And Kenny Baker was such a prick. And it was
Anthony
funny.
Daniels
He was
C-3PO, for those of you who don't know. He's the guy who had to be in C-3PO, like Metal Gear all day.
Yeah. Anthony Daniels is the guy who was in 3PO. Kenny Baker was in R2, and Kenny Baker said nothing but raw shit about Anthony Daniels. He was like,
really?
I allowed that prick. That someone say him. If I was hard up, I'd probably take him in your balls. Sorry.
He's jealous because C-3PO was tall and skinny, and he was like short and squat.
I would just love to prank call as Kenny Baker.
Alright, I'm going to shit autographs and shit.
Is that your impression of Kenny Baker?
I need to bring that because I have loved that fucking prick. I'm going to catch him in his fucking little balls.
You know what that reminds me of?
I would think Tom Bennett, fuck off.
That reminds me of Dr. Girlfriend's Muppets on the Venture Brothers. You ever see the Venture Brothers?
Not really.
Oh, you ought to record it. You totally sound like Dr. Girlfriend's Muppets on there. They're like her evil midget henchmen.
Yeah, that's what Kenny Baker sounds like. He's like,
I want to feel going on. I was like, do you want to say anything about my wife, darling? He goes, no, I'm too busy. I'm settled. I want to kick that fucking prick.
And ironically, Dr. Girlfriend sounds just like Joe Rosenthal. I could totally do like Dr. Girlfriend prank calls with the Joe Rosenthal voice and say I'm Dr. Girlfriend. Like all the tech geeks would think was hysterical.
yeah, there you go.
Right.
Yeah, but your soundboard is working fine.
Awesome.
All right,
How are you doing?
Test it again.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
I hate to promote Blackout because he's such an asshole. I recently visited there. I visit like Blackout.com like once a year, maybe twice a year when I'm bored. And
I haven't even heard anything about that fucking guy for ages.
Yeah, nobody ever does unless I talk about him.
Yeah, nobody ever goes to his site anymore. You know, he's still got this stupid fucking big hat. I'm like, oh, he's got a big hat. Oh, that's hilarious.
He's ranked like 1.7 billion on Alexa. But I showed up there.
His not YouTube, I'm sorry. His Wikipedia got yanked so many times because it was called a vanity page. You know what a vanity page is, right?
And I thank my fans for that. Not that I instruct them to do that, but they just hold such hatred for him that they take it upon themselves to do that. So I thank.
It is a vanity page. That's why a lot of people flag it as a vanity page.
Because
a vanity page on Wikipedia is where somebody makes their own Wikipedia page.
Right, exactly. I'm a hell of a lot more famous than he is. I've been on Howard Stern show, goddammit. What the hell has he ever done?
Well, he wears a big hat, apparently.
He wears a big hat and looks really gay.
Yeah.
He looks far gayer than a gay guy.
Bryce Rody here. Hi.
I look kind of gay in the picture that's on your site, but that's okay.
Well, you're in the fucking bathroom.
Well, I was naked in that photo. There are other versions of that photo where you can see my penis hanging down, but I spared you that.
Yeah, thank you for, like, clipping that and just, like, cropping it a little bit.
It was sort of like you wouldn't notice, like, right away. Like, you'd have to, like, observe it for a while before you notice that, like, there's a cock hanging out, like, way down below. I'm like, I was trying to
Do you remember what Zolar did on Tom Green?
No.
Zolar went on the Tom, connect to Tom Green through Skype using your, webcam and all that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, Zolar was holding a sign, and they're looking at the sign, and they don't realize Zolar's high. He purposely cut in his sweatpants to have his balls hang out.
That's funny. That's like something I would do. That's funny.
Yeah, you gotta hand it to Zolar. I mean, that was fucking great, because they're like, what's the sign? Oh my god! Okay, thank you.
That's funny. I got big droopy balls. I should play them up more.
You mean turkey necks?
Yeah, I'm 38 years old, and I haven't worn underwear in like 12 years, so I got big-ass droopy balls.
All right, go have fun with your soundboard. I'm going to be listening.
Okay, peace out, my nigga.
All right.
Bye. And that was Pedge, me calling him on Skype, and apparently my soundboards do indeed work when I call up people, so that is so exciting. Now I can do like live soundboard prank calls. That's like a whole new area for me that I've never even considered before. Josh Keeses, call this number and ask for Sue and do whatever comes to mind. Something funny will happen no matter what you say. Yeah, that's probably Pindar's number or something. Colleen Crowell, who also lives on the same goddamn street, I've been pranking all goddamn night and getting neighbors fighting with each other and whatnot and so forth, because it's so much fun to cause fights amongst people who've thus far had peace amongst themselves. I live for pissing people off. I actually had a conversation for like 2 hours with like somebody who was trying to get me to join their network for like 2 hours the other night, and then out of nowhere I just started saying like ridiculous, like assholey, dipshitty things for like 5 minutes, and the guy's like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "You know I'm fucking with you, don't you?" I just love fucking with people. I just love throwing people a curveball and seeing how they react.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Crowell. How are you doing, dear?
I'm so calling immediately right back. How dare you hang up on Jo just because she's got a goofy voice? Hello, Mr. Krause? Apparently my wife just called you, and I'm sorry, she suffers from throat cancer, so she sounds kind of ridiculous. But there was no reason to hang up on her without hearing her out. We actually have some very important business. What a cunt.
Hello?
Hello, why are you hanging up on me? I didn't
Who is it?
I didn't even give you a chance to explain why I'm calling.
I don't need to talk to you, thank you.
No, I was calling to talk to Colleen.
About what?
Well, that's her business, not yours.
It's my business. What do you want?
Why? Because you're her husband or something? Hello? Mr. Crowell? Listen, I am in love with your wife, have been for a long time. We've been meeting each other on the sly for several months now, and I thought it was time that you ought to know. So I'm coming clean. I'm coming clean and trying to do the right thing. Hello, Mr. Crowell? I notice nothing is ringing. Whatever you just tried to dial failed miserably, so you may as well talk. That was some asshole trying to trace the call. Sorry, it don't work with Skype, bitch. Okay, let me call the next person on my list. I'll give them a reprieve for now, and I'll call the next dipshit on my list.
Hello?
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 Hey.
It's me.
What's happening?
Hello?
What is happening?
It's Gladys.
Huh? Can you hear me? Justin?
Right.
What?
Right.
Who is this?
It's Gladys.
Oh, I think you got the wrong number.
Listen, you bitch. Hello?
Oh, I'm out of practice with the soundboard. I don't know how to do a good call with the soundboard. I need some more practice. It's been so long since I've used it, but the more I use it, the better I'll get, right? Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
It's Gladys.
I'm sorry, who's this?
Hello? It's Gladys.
I'm gonna call her right back, because that was very rude to hang up on Gladys like that.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, pal. You better
It's
find
me.
out what the hell you're doing.
Hello?
Try again.
Are you calling me crazy? Hello? How are you doing? Hello? Did you beat my dog? Hello? Are you popping the anus too? Oh, God. Hello?
And surprise, 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 that was a total failure of a prank call. Complete waste of all of our time.
Hello?
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 It's me,
Who's me?
Margaret.
Margaret.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Oh, my hemorrhoids popped.
I think I'm too unfamiliar with the soundboard to be able to use it for prank calls. It's been like so many years since I've used it. And Josh T says it's no setup, as for Sue. Well, if I thought it was a setup, I wouldn't have dialed it in the first place, so need not worry.
Hello?
Hello, Matt Herbert.
I'm sorry?
Matt Herbert? Please?
Who is it?
Are you Matt Herbert?
No. No.
Well, can you put him on, please?
He's not here.
Well, Matt, I know it's you, and I know you're lying, because I just spoke to Mark Walter, who lives right across the street from you. And he played some audio tape of you with your voice, so I know what you sound like. And I know that's you, Matt Herbert. What do you have to say for yourself now, that I've caught you in your lie? I'm going to call him back. He didn't hang up, I did. But he wasn't saying nothing, so I'm going to try to jumpstart him.
Hi, you reached Fires. We're not in right now. Leave us a message.
God damn you people. Once I figure out how to fuck with voicemail through Skype, you're all doomed. And we're going to voicemail, so I'll cancel that.
We got to close it out. That's it for tonight. Be back again tomorrow night. Red-eyed and bushy-tailed, 'cause I can see you tomorrow, baby.
I move your picture.
I move your picture.
From my wall.
From my wall.
From my wall. And I replace them.
Both large and I replace them.
Both large and small.
Both large and small.
And each new day.
Each and every one.
Find me so blue.
So find me so blue. So blue.
Nothing takes the place of you.
Just remember, nothing takes the place of nothing can ever take the place of you, baby.
I read your letters.
I read your letters. Each and every one.
One by one.
One by one. By one.
And I still love you.
And I still love you, baby. Baby, I still love you.
When it's all said and done.
When it's all said and done, I still love you.
Oh, my darling.
Oh, my darling.
I'm so blue.
I'm so blue. Because nothing.
Because nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, nothing.
They feel as quiet as good as your vagina.
I write this letter.
It's raining. It's raining.
On my window pane.
As the moving finger writes, what the hell says until tomorrow. You know, he's not even listening to the lyrics anymore. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you too. As each teardrop hits inside my head.
Without you.
Hell's that one.
Nothing seems the same.
Without time, nothing's the same. Nothing's the same.
So I'll wait.
And I'll wait.
Until you're home.
Until you're home.
Again, I love you.
Again. Like I said before, I love you.
But I'm all alone.
But I'm all alone. I'm all alone till I see it again tomorrow night, baby. Till tomorrow. Till tomorrow, I love you so much. I love you more.
I'm so blue.
Bye. I'm bluer. Goodbye.
Because nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, but nothing. Takes the place.
Takes the place of you, baby. Thank you all for listening. I love y'all. Tune in again next week. And stay